As a student in a college writing class, there are quite a few ways that you can use ChatGPT, OpenAI, to fill in some gaps and maybe take a little bit more responsibility for your own learning and not always have to go running to your teacher with questions. I want to give you a few examples of what that might look like. So let's suppose that you are assigned an article that your teacher wants you to evaluate. And let's say they want you to evaluate the claims and the evidence in this article. And the article is called How the Boomers Ruined Everything. And you look at the article and you read it, but you don't really know who the boomers were. And so you're having a little bit of trouble understanding, what the underlying point or the assumptions behind this article are, because you just don't know much about the boomers. So what you can do is you can type into the ChatGPT box here, and I've already typed it just to save time. You can type in something like, I'm an 18-year-old college freshman. I need to evaluate an article about the boomers. I'm not sure who the boomers are or why that would be important. Could you explain to me what the boomer generation means and what some of their characteristics are? So you type that in and you hit enter, and there you go. The chat is going to give you a definition, what the time frame was that defines the boomer generation, different characteristics and traits of that generation that we typically associate with them. So it's a very, very comprehensive, but also easy to read answer to your question. Let's say that you're looking at this and you're like, okay, but I don't really understand this. I'm having trouble understanding it. It's a little bit complicated. Well, you can say to chat, explain it again as if you are talking to a middle schooler. Let's just ask them to make it a little bit simpler for you. And you'll see it's doing exactly that. It's changed the level of language and vocabulary and the types of examples that it's giving to just be a lot simpler. So you read that and you'll be like, okay, now I get it, and now I can proceed with my assignment. Let me give you another example. Let's say you're supposed to do an assignment where you need to talk about the difference between fact and opinion. And you just feel like, I don't know, what exactly is the difference between a fact and an opinion? Again, I'll just paste this in here. So you just say, explain the difference between a fact and an opinion. And you're going to get definitions with examples explaining the difference between facts and opinions. Let's say, again, you want them to simplify it so that it's a little bit more basic. Explain it again as if you were talking to a middle school student. And there you go. It's going to make it really simple with even simpler, more relatable examples that are just super, super helpful in getting the difference. Let's do one more question. Let's say you're doing an activity where you're supposed to be dealing with scholarly articles, and you're just not exactly sure what your teacher means by scholarly when they say scholarly article. I mean, this is school. Isn't all articles scholarly? So again, you can just paste your question in here or type your question in. Explain to an 18-year-old college freshman taking a first-year composition course what a scholarly article is. And then there you go. They're going to go into nice detail explaining exactly what a scholarly article is. And you can follow up and ask them to give you more examples. Or let's say you want to follow up with a question like, what is the difference between a scholarly article and a trade journal publication? And that's going to break it down for you, the difference between audience, content, review process, language and style. So very, very nice, clear explanation of the difference between scholarly articles and trade journals. So the beauty of this is you can type any question that you have into ChatGPT and you can get a very clear organized answer. If you don't understand the answer, you can ask it to make it simpler, and you can just keep breaking it down until you get the answers that you need. It's a wonderful way to use this technology to take ownership of your own learning.